Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for February 2024. This is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You could have planets in the sign of Taurus. You may be intuitively guided and you don't know if you have Taurus in your chart. I often feel that your spirit guide's just saying there may be a message in here for, or there will be a message in here for you. Um, you may be in love with the Taurus. I have Taurus love in my life. And yeah, so if you're here for another Taurus or you're checking up on Taurus's energy, again, understand your guides know that and you'll probably receive messages too. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into your reading. I don't know if I said Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Think I did. We're going to use three different decks. We're going to use our Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or go deeper. We're going to go as deep as we dare. And then for your main spread, we're going to use the Cozy Witch Tarot. So that's a newer deck that I bought. It's my latest. So I've been using it a lot. And just want to break it into the family. All right, but let's start with Mother Mary. Let's get your words of wisdom. What is it you need to hear? Some of you, I feel like you need a sense of comfort that Mother Mary can certainly supply. So let's go ahead and shuffle. Okay. And we'll read it from the book at the end of the reading. I just feel like that's where it's most profound. By the way, I do want to remind you that I do have your year in review done, though I broke it down seasonal, so I have January, February, March all ready for you. I also did a series where those that are in love, what are their current feelings? Well, we asked 5 very important questions. And I just love them. So I did every sign. So you may want to check that out. I'm not trying to push any readings. I just want you to know what's out there. Because that was quite interesting. And I'm going to continue doing them on top of your monthly. So it'll just be an extra little series that we're adding in. Okay. But what's Mother Mary say? Be strong. Be strong. I already know what it means. I pull myself up and I do what needs to be done. I pull myself up and I do what needs to be done. Maybe I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just like, ugh. But I feel like it's saying, keep moving through whatever you're going through. Keep moving through that energy. Don't let it block you. Just don't let it block you. I don't know. I feel like that's a specific message for a few people. All right, so we're gonna bring in the cozy witch. I don't know why I keep wanting to say twitch. Twitch was the dancer that passed away much too young. Much too young. I think he was on. So you think you can dance? I don't know why it's reminding me of him all of a sudden, but yeah, he was taken much too young. All right, Taurus, are you ready? So February. Happy Valentine's Day, though. Don't love that holiday, even though I am in love. I just think it's a man-made holiday, and I feel like it's just more pressure to spend money. Money, 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 right? But some may I have a feeling some of you may have like anniversary dates around Valentine's Day, if not on Valentine's Day. All right, we have 3 of Wands. I like that. See what it says. Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another way. Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded. Interesting because that's kind of what I felt with, let me bring the lid down. It's kind of what I felt with Mother Mary. Like, wow, I had to keep moving through whatever it is that seems to, I don't know, I feel like in a way it wants to stop you. But then the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is a very optimistic view. at your life, Three of Wands is where you're really living in the present moment. And, you're saying to the universe, I know my ships will come in. I know if I keep my vibration at a certain level, then that's what must vibrate back to me. That is the law of attraction. You know what I mean? So think about your intentions, what you're putting out there. Just want to look at the picture. Looks like she's holding like this piece of paper and it may be a letter or something. She's holding it close to her heart, close to her chest. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. No. It's like what do they call that in bowling where one ball's over here, one ball's over here. We're going to take what's face up first. We have the Hermit. Ooh, my screen got awful dark. We have the Hermit, card of Virgo, another Earth sign. I feel like you can relate easily with the Hermit's energy. Let's see what it says. There are some things that must be done on your own. Oh, I pull myself up and I do what needs to be done. There are some things that must be done on your own. And I feel like really what it's talking about is, you know, going deep within oneself. I often feel the hermit ultimately, if I'm willing to go deep, if I'm willing, she's got books around her, she's using her pendulum, you know, um, asking those big questions and hopefully trusting what she receives, and I feel like I'm not just completely depending on my spirit guides here, like I'm learning what it is I need to learn. And then again, I feel like ultimately becoming the master teacher. Some of you, this could relate to like the dark night of the soul, but I have a feeling because she's looking over to Three of Wands, if that's the case, then I feel like you're coming out of that energy. Like you've learned a lot through what you would call your mistakes, but spirit would call your experiences. You've learned a lot. And now I feel like it's an emerging, like you're emerging from that energy. Interesting. Let's see what else we have. We have the Emperor. Some of you are becoming a business owner. And there could be a spiritual link to it in some way. It's interesting because when I did Aries reading, that was their first card. And I noticed this timepiece that this girl or woman keeps looking at and she doesn't seem anxious whatsoever, like waiting for the right time. The Emperor could certainly be a business owner. And by the way, I feel like if this is you, then, and if, if you're doing everything what feels right, I feel like if I do what's right and I do what feels right, I feel like then I could certainly be, the leader of my own company, the leader of the people. The emperor's energy that we really look up to. And it's mainly because of the emperor's actions. It's like, okay, I have my experiences and now I'm helping others, right? Being the authority of your own life comes with a lot of responsibility. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But if you are doing your own thing, then, yes, a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of excitement and love for what you do. You have Virgo and Aries side by side here. Interesting because the person in the Hermit, her back is to the Emperor's back, and she is looking more to Three of Wands. So it's like some of you, I feel like you were waiting for the perfect time to do something, to create something. And I feel like, listen, if this has anything to do with your finances, with building a business, this is the year. Take advantage of the universal year eight's energy. I would look that up. Eight has a lot of different meanings. One person wrote, eight is God, which, yes, eight is new beginnings. Eight is, a life path. Eight is all about coming down into this lifetime and really building their material world. Not because, like, I want money, money, money. There's nothing wrong with, I mean, we need money, right? But I feel like it's also like a soul's desire. So I feel like if you question, some of you may have been like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to build something, but then I feel like something may have, like, it kind of feels like it got in your way. Um, but in a way, I feel like, was it meant to? Because I feel with the Emperor, again, looking at that timepiece, it's like the timing is right when the timing is right. When you think of the Hermit, a number nine, we run a 9-year cycle. So you could certainly speak about a cycle that's coming to an end and beginning another one. Some of you could certainly be becoming fathers. Um, you know, People look up to the Emperor. Again, it's because of what the Emperor has gone through and overcome. And, I feel like an Emperor in a high vibrational energy really does care about his fellow man, his fellow woman, right? My brothers and my sisters, I care for them all. Hmm. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Seven of Cups. Interesting because it was like, didn't know which way it wanted to be. So, Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is making a decision, needing to make a decision. I guess you don't have to, you know, but it's presented. What's it read? Not every great option you're given will be a great option for you. That may be why I'm feeling a little bit of restriction. Though, again, it's being mirrored by the Three of Wands. And what does it say again? Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. Trusting yourself. Seven of Cups, it is the energy of, like, I'm afraid to trust my next decision. Why? So that means there's something in the Hermes energy that you had to reflect upon, um, to give you a sense of certainty or a sense of security, that type of energy. 2023 just moved out of it. That may be a time when you were thinking, planning. The Emperor does definitely is methodical and puts plans in place. Um, okay, so let's go under that. We have the Seven of Wands. Interesting. Witches should hold other witches accountable. Seven of Wands. It is an somewhat of a defensive type energy. It's where I feel like I'm fending off attacks type of energy. But all of a sudden I'm getting a feeling of, like, are you helping others? Like, are you helping others? Not only are you holding others accountable for their actions, but are you helping others to overcome similar type situations? And by the way, it doesn't mean that, like, I like that's what I do for a living. Maybe just I'm speaking about it in some way, somehow, I'm helping another. Well, let's see what else we have. Well, hello, Empress. Huh. I mean, here's my power couple. They're very close together. They're sharing the energy of the hermit. The Empress says there is beauty to be found in every experience. So maybe that's what she has learned through the hermit's energy. Again, the hermit can certainly speak about going through the dark night of the soul, but truth be told, I feel like that's where a lot of our experiences and then lessons and then answers come from. Interesting because I also was speaking earlier about not in this reading, but like through a few readings, I was feeling like opposite houses connecting. Your opposite would be Scorpio. And I do love Scorpio and Taurus together. I think I say that all the time. I don't know why, but I do. So the Empress is very creative, right? She is someone who takes what she receives, epiphanies from her spirit guides, trusts that, and then she puts it to use. She brings it to the world. She gives birth to her ideas, her epiphanies, and I feel like many of these epiphanies are sent from above, and she trusts them. Again, someone who has been there, done that, right? I've had these experiences. Now, the Empress is someone, really, one of the probably biggest lessons she's learned is not to close off her heart. She's learned how to trust her own energy as a measurement of what is good and what is not good for me in my life. Um, I was just looking at 33 right there. 33. Okay, let's keep going. I have a feeling someone out there is becoming a parent, like a mother or a father. Um, and maybe it's soon. Maybe it's soon. Like maybe you're giving birth soon. Let's see what else connects the Emperor and the Empress together. By the way, I feel like you're all people. But I also want you to trust your own intuition. You know what I mean? Like, chances are you're not the Emperor and the Empress, though you could be. You certainly could be, right? I mean, boy, you want to talk about having one shit together. Like, being able to take on both of their energies, Um, though they are, in a way, opposites. Though together, I feel like they are my power couple. All right. We have, well, hello, Temperance. Temperance, divine timing. How interesting because she's got a timepiece in her hand. So it's like, as the Emperor, she's waiting for divine timing, the right timing. It's like she's really trying. I feel like the Hermit's energy, though sometimes it can certainly mean that I've gone through some difficult experiences. I feel like, we're not given more than we can handle. And trust me, I've had to handle a lot. But I've learned that. Like, we're not given more than we can handle. And within every experience is a way to grow. And if we don't grow from it, if it depletes us, then we need to know that too, right? We need to understand that. So Temperance says, let go of self-imposed limitations. No limitations. No need. Especially when divine timing shows up. There's no need to put like an exact date on anything. But she is holding that timepiece. This is someone who is trusting in divine energy. And I feel like because we opened your reading with the Three of Wands, again, a very optimistic view, but living in the present moment. The Empress and the Emperor both live within the present moment. They need to. The Empress has learned, again, how not to shut her heart down, right? She stays loving, nurturing, but she has become very powerful in her own right, very powerful. And I feel like, yes, on a spiritual level, but even more than that, like just very knowledgeable. I feel like this is also you starting to feel like divine energy more and more and more in your life. I feel like something is opening up and it does feel very good, but I feel like, again, at the right time, and that I can trust in. Hmm, okay. So Temperance connecting the Emperor and the Empress. Card Sagittarius, by the way. We have the Three of Pentacles. I haven't seen this one yet. A lot of these cards, even though I've like shuffled them and saged them and introduced them to, you know, my family of cards, I don't like to see the pictures so much until we see them together. I like to see them when you see them. So, anyways, Three of Pentacles. What's that saying? Teamwork makes this. It says here the spell work. It's like people coming together. You know, the Three of Pentacles really speaks about you and your uniqueness. And by the way, it's another three. So to me, it ties it back to the Empress, which also ties it back to the Three of Wands. I feel like, there's something that's saying you really got to believe in yourself. And if you can take what you call your mistakes and think of them in a different way as your experiences, then you start to grow. You know what I mean? Like then less and less and less makes you worried. You know what I mean? You trust in yourself. All right. We have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is fast moving energy. I also feel is what I think about, I bring about. I love that it's mirroring the Three of Wands because again, that's a very optimistic energy. And you are saying to the universe, I trust you, right? I know that I need to be present. I know that I need to have a clear mind and I know what's meant for me will find me. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to enjoy my present moments. I'm going to create, right? I'm going to do the things that maybe I put off and now bring them to the world. I feel like for some of you, you had to find this trust within yourself. I kind of feel like you were just naturally born to do it, but you had to figure that out. Anyway, Eight of Wands, light a fire underneath and go, 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 go. All right, I'm going to bring these up a little bit. Eight. We're in the universal year eight. I feel like this is saying 2023 may have brought up many different questions for you, many different experiences. But I feel like really it's so that you can be where, I feel like you're going to be, you know. It is your experiences that make you who you are today. Now, it doesn't mean like I'm perfect because nobody is, but there is a movement here from where I didn't trust myself or I didn't trust in the divine timing, right? Maybe I tried to control something too much and that didn't work out. I just realized two sevens in a row. So now you have the energy of your uniqueness and what you can do with it. Again, it's just like this natural energy of like helping others in some way. I feel like it feels good to your soul. This is also a great energy of collaboration. You know, if there's anyone you're thinking of collaborating with, hmm, when I think about it, I bring about three of wands. I know my ships are coming. In the meantime, while divine's doing its work, I'm going to do mine. I feel like this is also saying where you doubt yourself, like maybe you doubt other people will respond to what it is that you want to do, what you're bringing to the world, or who you're becoming. I feel like if even if you don't feel it at this point, I feel like the universe is saying yes, yes, yes. Like you have this unique gift, you put it to use now. And I also feel like, there's a lot of energy of other people looking up to you. But I feel like mainly it's because of your actions. Now, you may speak them, but ultimately it's because of your experiences and then the actions that eventually you took. I'm not saying that the Empress and the Emperor don't get lost, right? But ultimately, maybe that's why the Hermit is like between the two of them. Certainly be spiritual energy that ultimately connects the two of them. Temperance is the one who is connecting the Emperor and the Empress, as is the Hermit. I mean, maybe that's why they can relate to each other so much because each of them, like, oh man, let me tell you about my trip through the dark night of the soul. And then the Empress is like, I get it. Let me tell you about my dark night of the soul. But both coming out the other side, right? Both now carry that beacon of light within and also without. Okay, keep going. We have the Page of Pentacles. I've seen the Page of Pentacles quite a bit. Page of Pentacles is mirroring the Hermit. So, my gosh, to me, especially with the Empress right in between, like, I just feel like if you're creating, like, first of all, let's think of nine. It is the final reflection. Like, we're not meant to stay in the nine's energy, we're meant to reflect. What can I learn from it? What can I gain from it? What can I understand? What's my own part in it? It's asking those big questions and then listening. Because I feel like whatever questions you ask, you're receiving the answer. Boy, Taurus, I feel like you're meant to because I feel like you're using that energy. Like the Page of Pentacles is really about a path of knowledge. But if it's relating to your finances, I feel like if you're true to yourself, like if you have certain gifts, and it doesn't mean like, I'm a singer or I want to play in a rock band, which I would love to do both, by the way. But that's not going to happen. But you know what I mean? Like, but then ultimately you find like, okay, you know what? I might be pretty good at this. And you follow that, you know, you follow that. You just never know where you're going to end up. when life gives you lemons, make enchanted lemonade. All right. Hello, Ten of Cups. Pen right under temperance. It says, okay, but sometimes it really is all rainbows and smiles. Wow. Okay. And we have the Four of Swords healing. And with that comes out toxic witches. Be cautious of those who take more than they give. Be cautious of those who take more than they give. With the Four of Swords, by the way. It says, why aren't you resting? Because I have been resting. And now I want to start taking action. I want to start making movement. I just feel like you have the best energy of collaboration. If it's not collaboration for you, I feel like, I feel like and you may already own your own business, or it doesn't always have to mean you own your own business. It can be that, like you get a promotion and now you're leading a group of people. But it is because you deserve it. That's why you deserve it. But whatever it may be, I feel like interesting. I forget where I was going with that, but all of a sudden being pulled down to the Four of Swords. And I feel like it's this Emperor and the Empress, and they are looking in different directions. If maybe they were together before and, or if they haven't been together before, because temperance again is what's connecting them, then I have a feeling they just show up in your life. And you and theirs, by the way. Now, the Seven of Cups, where what does it say? Not every great option you're given will be a great option for you. But then you have the Four Swords now mirroring that. And that is about healing. And, especially with the nine on the board, it is healing if not the last chapter, a couple chapters, the last cycle, maybe a couple cycles. Um, And I feel like both the Empress and the Emperor will absorb that energy, allow it to be. Some of you may have already been in that energy, that 2023 may have found you like really healing from different experiences. But I feel like as we move into 2024, um, I feel life looks different for you. Life looks different. I'm not worried anymore that well, let's just put it this way. This could certainly also talk about a previous relationship, or this could just talk about your whole life where, you tend to give and give, but you're not receiving, right? You're not feeling fulfilled. And I'm not saying to give so that I can receive, though in certain experiences, yes, it should be equal. And you may have a tendency to be the giver, and someone else could have been the taker. Because there is energy of healing the past. And again, I don't feel like we're meant to get stuck in it. Like, let's heal it as much as we can, and then let's get moving. All right, let's look at the bottom of the deck. We have the Five of Wands. Interesting. So that is a lot of ego type energy. A good coven lets every witch have a say. Well, normally in the Five of Wands, everybody's talking over everyone. Everyone thinks their words are more important than everybody else's. and they're not actively listening. Nobody's actively listening. Everyone's thinking of their response before who's ever speaking is even done with their, whatever it is they're trying to say. So it is a lot of back and forth, back and forth. I also feel in the Five of Wands, in that energy, if I'm waiting for someone to back down and say to me, "You're right, I'm wrong," it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I feel like that's why it's a five, because five speaks of change. And we got to get used to that. There are always going to be changes and learning to roll with those changes. Because I feel like, listen, if I'm in this energy of a lot of drama and nothing is changing, then the only way I can change it is by separating myself from it. Right? I'm not going to get caught in their drama anymore. If someone's not going to apologize, then that's that. Do I even need it? Some of you, this could be going on in your work, and I feel like there is a need to separate that. And then I get this feeling for a few of you that there may have been like a promotion. And I do feel like, not everybody's happy about it. I feel like you're happy about it, but I don't feel like everyone else is, now I'm not saying like if you're working in an office setting that the whole building is like against you. No, I'm not saying that, but I do feel like there would be a group of like, why'd she get a raise or why'd he get a raise and I didn't get a raise. I can tell you why, because you put in hard work. That's why. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I feel like, again, any drama, separate yourself from it. Don't allow, and Taurus, I know that you do not like to live in a drama filled house or work in a drama filled business. I know that. Like, to me, I feel like that is your hell. So, what do I got to do? I've got to know when to go. Some of you, there could be like just a lot of drama again around you. And that is one of the reasons why you are making some changes. Who knows? Maybe this drama was meant to happen to get you to move to your next, the next stage. All right, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. And, okay, they don't want to come up. And let's go deeper. Start at the beginning, but we're going to read it as a whole. Seven of Pentacles over the Three of Wands. Interesting because, I feel like this is your tree of life. And those pentacles, I feel like, are your soul's seeds of intention. And not every pentacle is going to be ready, right, at the same time. And we got to learn, like, we got to learn when to pick them and we got to learn when to just let it finish becoming ripe. Seven of Pentacles, its main message is patience, right? It's patience for the seeds that you've planted. And in the Three of Wands, that's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're giving it. You're giving it patience, but at the same time, it's like now, for some reason, now you know that again, your seed of intention will come to fruition in the right time. Okay. Ace of Swords. First of all, coming over to the Hermit, I feel like it's speaking of truth. Like I'm learning real truth here, real, this is me learning more than just like the earthly that I'm a human. I'm also remembering that I'm a spiritual being and I'm receiving and accepting what I feel is your truth. If nothing else, this is you being willing to look at that. Because also talk about some type of communication that is now coming in. Listen, I feel like if it's coming in because you're ready. I do feel like the Ace of Swords is also an energy of integrity. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Page of Cups over the Emperor. With the Ten of Swords over the Seven of Cups. Kind of makes sense. And then last but not least, we have the Queen of Wands over the Seven of Wands. All right, let's take a moment here. So we have the Ten of Swords. Sword after sword after sword in my back. And it didn't feel good. And I know that because you needed to heal from that. Not only did you need to heal from it, you needed to understand it. Again, I feel this energy of, especially with the saying right here, be cautious of those who take more than they give. I feel like somehow you found yourself in this repeat pattern. Maybe it's with, someone who um promised you the world and, gave you nothing. I do feel like your inner child got injured, if that's the right word. But I do feel like you're bouncing back from that. Ten of Swords tells me again a repeat pattern, and that's why it's hard to make a decision. And sometimes, like in the Ten of Swords, like this person's just lying there, right? Taking those swords. And sometimes that's what happens. We become comfortable with the uncomfortable, right? It's just the way it's been. 10 years. Why would I think anything would be different? Well, you're right. It won't be different if you don't get up. Stop these swords, right? Again, stop that pattern, that repeat pattern. Now, it's showing you that for some of you, you're literally trying to make decisions in this type of energy. I feel like this is where I've become submissive to this person or to whoever it is. Wherever these swords are coming from, it doesn't always have to be from the same person. But I feel like is a repeat pattern, so it is like the same type of energy. It could be the same energy from different people, but here I go again. If that's the case, then you want to ask yourself, like, where's my energy? And then we come down here with the Queen of Wands. Well, she's the Queen of Action. And for some of you, it can mean an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But honestly, I feel like it's you. And I feel like it is you taking action. I feel like what this is saying is if you were willing to go deep and understand those swords, and demand truth, right? Demand truth from everyone in your life. Like, I won't live any other way anymore. Because I do know that those swords will be healed if I allow that. And that could be a little bit of what Temperance is saying, like divine timing. But part of that timing is understanding when I'm in certain types of patterns and then trying to make decisions from that. Do I not just keep bringing the same thing back and back? Maybe that's why the Five of Wands is on the bottom of the deck. Like, I gotta know who deserves my energy and who doesn't. But first, I feel like I gotta trust in myself because, again, there's these abilities that you have, and I'm not gonna limit them because I feel like in many different areas, where you can really create true success for yourself. Truly. You gotta break free from that. You gotta let your inner child heal. And maybe you have been, and you're like, okay, Temperance, I'm ready. I'm ready. So then the Queen of Wands would be the perfect person to come out because she's the Queen of Action. She's someone who's going to move according to her desires and her passions. She's not someone who's going to overthink anything. I'll do it first, think about it later. Now, as a page, sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't, right? But this could be like learning that we're going to fall, but understanding that we can get back up. I feel like I feel like many of you are this Queen of Wands, and I feel like you're putting your foot down. Like you are putting your foot down. Interesting that the Emperor has the Page of Cups over it, and the Empress has the Page of Pentacles below. So you could certainly talk about this Emperor and Empress may have known each other from an earlier time in their life. The Hermit. It's like the Empress has now become the Hermit. Like now, I am the beacon of light, not just for myself, but for others. Interesting because she was looking back. Now, the Hermit changes her position to the future, to the present and future. Look at this tower, but it's shown in reverse. You know, it's like, what has this Empress learned? She's learned how to avoid these towers. It's like she has learned that she can feel these towers coming 100 miles away now. She has the illumination she needs, as does the Emperor, because they're sharing that card. You know, we have to understand that these towers are disruption, right? But maybe they're disrupting our life to move us, where maybe we refuse to go. Coming over temperance, I'm not worried about it, especially in reverse because it's like temperance, but I feel like it's more you. Like, I can feel these. If there's a tower coming, I will feel it before it ever reaches me. It's like, instead of that Eight of Swords where we're in that self created prison, right? We're building that wall around us. This is more of an energetic force, an energetic field. Like if something comes of a negative energy in your energetic field, it's going to set off the alarms. And that you can trust it. And that you should trust. Okay, keep going. And then I also feel like because we have the Four of Swords next to the Ten of Cups, if these two people were together before and they did, go through a tower type energy, listen, both of them are connected to that nine, are connected to the Hermit. So both of them must have had this reflection. And both of them have the ability to really speak about it and create from that. And both of them have the ability to know, to feel safe that I now understand these towers, right? I understand them and I don't fear them because, first of all, again, if a tower can be many different things, it can be very disruptive, right? It can end something, but it can also just be energy that is like one thing closes, but that's so something new can open. Again, we're sitting under divine timing here. Okay, look at that. And then temperance again. Over the Three of Pentacles. It's like divine timing or temperance is waiting for you to do your thing. Taurus, I feel like you've come a long way. You've come a long way, and I feel like you've got to take a moment to, pat yourself on the back and understand how far you've come and the knowledge that you've gained, and do I feel like it's like book knowledge? Some of it, yes. But I feel like it's just more knowledge of life. Temperance is saying you got to break that pattern because that's part of what potentially stops what wants to be next, right? Why? Because maybe I won't accept it in that energy. Maybe I won't even notice it. Hmm. All right, let's keep going. Double Sagittarius, by the way. Just like Temperance is saying, I have the perfect people in mind for you. Whether that means love or whether that means your career or maybe it's both. Like, I just have the right people in mind. But again, I needed you to come to a certain energy. This is like man made, or let's say free will. Yes, somebody else is doing it, but I've got to learn to be like, ugh, enough is enough. I've got to stand my ground and then take action. We have the Five of Pentacles, so I kind of feel like that's you taking action. Five of Pentacles, it is that feeling of feeling thrown out into the cold. But listen, here's the thing. I don't really feel like you're being thrown out into the cold. I feel like this is just talking about if I can find the guts and if I can trust and find the way and ask the way how to eliminate these 10 swords, then yes, I do find that there's then real movement. Five of Pentacles can talk about just the discomfort of change, but it's a very temporary type energy. It's not energy you're going to get stuck in, right? I pull myself up and I do what needs to be done. We know if it was simple, then we would have done it five swords ago. But it just wasn't that simple, right? But literally, listen, I feel like sometimes I can look back at my life and I know I saved myself from many different situations, but then I also think about like how long I stayed in it and then simply me leaving was the answer, was the solution. And then my life changed. And it wasn't once, it was a few times. So it's just knowing. And I also feel in the Five of Pentacles that you're heading towards soulmate type energy. So people who will get you, understand you. It's like your soul family. Well, this is not your soul family in the Ten of Swords. Could have been a karmic type energy. Could be free will. Whatever it may be, it feels like time to end. Time to be willing to walk through that discomfort, knowing that you are going to a better place. Some of you may be going back to school. There may be some type of course that you want to take, um, or like a refresher of what you already know. Dang, Eight of Swords. Okay, I was hoping it didn't show, but and then we have the Three of Wands. Hmm. Well, again, we're in a universal year eight. The Sage of Swords is a self-created prison. There's no other way of putting it. And the only way I can free myself is to uncreate it. And that just means I need to take off the illusion of these blindfold, the illusion of being stuck. I'm not stuck. It is an illusion. And I do need to break myself free. Now, it's coming over an energy of you learning about this, though. So I feel like this is more of like where I was and where I am now. Because I feel like I've learned that. I've learned that these barriers that I've created, they don't protect me from anything. All they did is stop my own opportunities. It's like you're reclaiming your life. So even though I didn't want the Eight of Swords to show up, I now understand why it showed up, right? I don't feel like I feel like many of you have freed yourself and now you're on to true understanding. All right, let's keep going. We're going to finish out this line and then I may go back and look at a few things. Look at this, the Chariot. Unlimited potential. That's really what the Chariot speaks about. Unlimited potential. How does this chariot move? It moves by your intentions, not by the reins of the horse. It moves where I tell it to go. I know that in the Three of Wands. I feel like this is saying a couple different things. First of all, it's card Cancer. I should say that. You know, the chariot being mirrored over here by the Five of Pentacles. That's good. That means that energy is much more temporary than I even gave credit to it. The chariot really is the balance of the masculine and the feminine, and I kind of feel that with the emperor and the empress. It's a balance of the light and the dark. Well, the only way I can balance that is to know the dark, right? Sometimes I got to face my demons head on and know that I have power over them. And then not putting any limits upon where something can go. Actually, I feel like not even worrying about how far it can go, just trusting that it really has unlimited potential. Now, there's free will, so free will can come in between, right? But I feel like because you've gone through all this, you understand this so much more. There's also an energy of moving out of 2023 into 2024. So again, the energy being unlimited for you. And I love divine right above that. It's truly like, I feel like, when I came into this reading, like I felt like I was just this stuck human being, stuck in this position. But really, what I'm finding is through these journeys, how it has opened up your life or the opportunity to really open up what maybe you don't even know is possible. Something's only impossible until it becomes possible, until someone does it, and then it's possible. Now you have the Three of Wands right over the Ten of Cups. That is also mirroring the Emperor. So I feel like I feel quite a few different things in this reading. I feel like well, what I want to do is first I just want to go right across the middle of the reading. And I'm asking the question, the Emperor and the Empress, are they two energies that are meant to come together? We have the Star, my hopes, my dreams, my wishes. Look at this. The Emperor. And by the way, coming right over the Empress. Now, doesn't have to mean it's an Aries. It just means it's someone that you can look up to. I feel like the Emperor and the Empress are interesting because I talked about opposite energies at the beginning of the reading, like Taurus and Scorpio. And they are opposites, but they really complete each other, right? Where the Emperor puts a plan in place, the Empress is the creative one. She's like, just let me at it, right? Both of them have been there. And now both of them, I feel like, I want to say are at the top of their fields, but I don't know that you're at the top of your field. I just feel that way. Anyway, let's just take one or two more. And the main reason I really wanted to look at this was because of the Ten of Cups and the Three of Wands over that. So I feel like that is talking about real potential, right? But again, it's saying like enjoy each moment. Look at this, the Ten of Pentacles. Hello, abundant couple. We have Devil, card of Capricorn, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Some of you could certainly talk about the way this comes together is through communication. Um, what an abundant house. Not only do we have the Ten of Cups, now we have the Ten of Pentacles, like love and money, love and money. But it starts with the star. What it is I want to manifest into this world and the type of person, right? Like, I don't want any old person. I want someone I can look up to. I feel like in this energy, the conversations that could be had are very interesting and probably long and deep. Like, I feel that they feel each other that clearly. I love the energy. If they decide to collaborate together, they don't have to. They each can do their own thing and really be great at it. But boy, I also feel like if we'd make the decision to collaborate together, to bring our knowledges together, well, that's why I call them my power couple. So I really just wanted to know, you know, with the Ten of Cups, if it was talking about the Empress and Emperor being together, and I feel like the answer is yes. Now, is it immediate? Of course not, because there are some issues that need to be dealt with, right? But I feel like that's what they're doing, and I feel like they're doing it individually. And listen, temperance keeps showing up, connecting these two. So when the timing is right, the timing is right. And that I can trust in. That I can trust in. Again, the unlimited potential here is quite amazing. I have to say, I feel like 2024 is a year of abundance if one is willing to put the work in. I feel like this is a year to follow those instincts, to follow that guidance. If your interest is piqued, understand that a lot of times it's piqued by your guides to help you learn something or help you move in a certain direction. But listen, everything you're moving towards is quite abundant. Quite abundant. We started with a lot of drama. We leave with abundance and love. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to read Mother Mary. Be strong. All right. This card counsels you to take swift and firm action towards resolving your present situation. Mother Mary avows that you are stronger than you think you are. You can also call upon the wellspring of God's strength to lift you up. Do not wallow in any feelings of victimhood. Use your God-given strength now. This card may also be asking you to engage in physical activity to develop your strong, healthy body. If you've been thinking about working out with weights, then this card is additional validation that it's time to exercise. Every time I get that message, I'm like, I know. It's also speaking to me, Taurus. I loved your reading. What can I say? To me, they read like movies, and they're always so interesting to me. Like, I don't know, they're just so interesting. I feel like you have a lot to look forward to, and I feel like it's time to put the things that weren't working or not working, put them to bed, and then open yourself up to really the potential of what can be and wants to be. The Seven of Pentacles, this seed has been planted, and now it feels like harvest time. All right. I'm going to leave that be. I love you guys. By the way, I'll connect your other readings to the end of this reading. But I also feel like my energy is getting stronger. So I'm going to try to go live this weekend. So have your notifications on. And again, that's just where we go on and you can really ask me whatever you want to ask me. You know, as long as it's appropriate. Um, anyway, so yeah, I love you. I thank you. I thank you in every way that you support this channel. I love reading your comments. So thank you for that. I love when you share. I feel like you help other people. You help give me confirmation. I, I feel like you also help other people. And I see it all the time in the comments. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anyway, I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.